Hello YouTube and welcome, this is Victor, and before I start I just wanted to say two things. The first thing, I would like to apologize, this video might be published a little bit late. I'm currently in Shanghai in China, and YouTube is not allowed in China, so I cannot upload the video, so I'm filming it today, and as soon as I land home I'll upload it, and you should see it still on the 31st, but if you see it on the 1st I'm really sorry, there's a little bit of delay and I can't control internet in China. Second thing, I want to thank you for following me through Vlogtober. It was the first time I've done this. Hopefully you have a better idea of what's the life of a flight attendant, the life of the Les Mills staff, a life of an Airbnb host, and a life of a YouTuber, because I combined the four of them together. It was a nice adventure. It was a lot of work, to be honest, even though the quality of the video was not top. I had to produce 62 videos in 31 days because I published everything in French and English, so that was still a lot of work, and I think I've delivered every day on time, so there was no delay, and I just had two backup buffer that I've used for the days I was flying, and there was actually nothing happening. Today is Halloween Day, so I'm going to talk about stories on board, and I'll say two quick stories for you. The first one is actually on a plane that I actually currently fly. There's been a death on board. I was not part of that crew, I was not on that flight, but on the flight coming from Singapore, a passenger died, and then the whole protocol was followed and everything was done correctly. But within a few days and weeks we started to see a few things strange happening, and the most scary, I would say, thing that happened is we were in the rest period. That means half of the crew were in the bunks upstairs, and if you don't know what our bunks look like, I've put a video around it, but I've put a link again here so you can see it. So half of the crew were sleeping upstairs, and then the other half were downstairs, and they still had about an hour left before we go and wake them up, and then it's our turn to go and sleep. And all of them, there's 5 of them, came down and arrived in the galley and said, "Hi, good morning. Why are you all here? We have still 1 hour to do." And they all swear that one of us came to wake them up. So you don't see who's waking you up. Usually you touch, because we have curtains, so you touch the curtain and you say, "Hey, time to wake up," and then usually they'll do the trick. Sometimes you do it the second time, but most of the time they'll do the trick. But they all swear that one of us came, but there were 3 of us in the rear galley at this time. With the next 10 minutes, none of us have actually moved. So we knew that we didn't open the door, no passengers got the code for the door, and we would have seen it because it's right in front of us. We know no one came upstairs to wake them up. And there's been a few other strange stories on that. It was the same aircraft, so we know there's something happening in there. The aircraft has been blessed, that's what we usually after there's been a death on board. But yeah, it took a while, it's a bit more quiet. Other things we heard, like if there's one flight left in crew rest, either the first one, the other one haven't arrived yet, or the last one is coming down, they can hear some plastic noise. Usually our sheets and then pillowcases are made of paper, but they all come in plastic. So when you rip up the plastic, it always makes a bit of noise. They heard the plastic, but when you open the curtain, there was actually no one on the other side. So it's a few weird things. Another thing that happened to us quite often is when we go to Tokyo Narita, hotel is one of the most haunted hotels in Japan. It's actually listed on many websites. And this hotel's got rooms facing the forest and room facing the parking. And many crew from different airlines who've stayed toward the forest have seen a young kid coming at night, talking to them or putting the lights on. It seems that there's a whole story about this kid that died. I don't know if it when the hotel was built, or I honestly personally don't believe in ghosts. I've never seen the kid, but a lot of crew decide to sleep with the lights on or swap. Quite often I've been asked to swap my room and get the forest side because a crew member didn't want to sleep on the forest side and get my room in the parking. Or quite a few crews also have decided to sleep together so they don't feel alone in a room with a ghost, and then share the bed and leave their room empty. So yeah, those kind of stories happen. The other thing that's quite common, it's a famous story on the internet. It's happening in the flight, and it's not us. And a passenger come in a rear galley and asks the flight attendant, "Can you deliver a message to a lady, let's say Sophie, in seat 22C, and tell her that I'm okay, everything is fine." So Sophie said, oh, it's a bit, the flight attendant thinks it's a little bit weird, but yeah, okay, I'll deliver the message. So she goes 22C. She says, this gentleman who came in the galley and asked me to tell you that everything is fine. The passenger say, I don't know anyone else on this flight. Can you describe him? So she described a man, and the passenger Sophie show a photo, and she say, is it this man? And she say, yes, that's actually exactly this man. And the passenger say, well, this man is dead. He's actually in a coffin, in a casket, in the hold. I'm taking him back home. That's my husband. I'm a widow. So weird story. And then if you ask your flight attendant on the next flight, they may have stories that happen on their own airline. So again, I haven't seen a ghost, but I've seen crew coming down. I haven't seen a ghost in my hotel room, but I've heard from different airlines in the same hotel there's issues. So ask your flight attendant if you have any ghost story to tell you on the next flight. Yeah, so this is the end of Vlogtober. Thanks again for following me during this month. If you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe now and you can click the small bell. From this week, I'll resume the normal videos where I'll talk about flying. My next video will be around turbulence, and it will be a series of 2. I've done a bit of research and I've got a lot of information to share. I know it's a hot subject. I've published a video in French last year around that and got a lot of questions. So I think it's quite worthwhile to do it in English. It's a little bit more content. And then Vlogmas. I don't know if you know about Vlogmas. It's kind of Vlogtober, but in December, toward Christmas, and stop on Christmas. I'll do it, but it will be very different. It will be all around airlines. I won't talk about traveling, less meals and Airbnb. It will be just airline. Quick videos every day, but have some contents that may interest you. So don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again for following me, and I'll see you a little bit later this week. Thanks.